on, and
We're on. Deval. Can you hear me, Deval? Oh my god. Mate,
I
please
got
do
you.
not do
I
please do
got
not
you.
do that. I switched over to another window and then I went back and I was like, shit, what's going on? What's going on? And I went back. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Smile. We're
please.
gonna talk about that later. We are gonna talk.
We're going to talk about Smile, folks.
Mm.
And listen,
Yep.
we're inching closer and closer to, well, actually, we're in October now. Shit, 2nd of
Yeah.
October.
Yep.
This month is going to be Halloween, and we're watching kind of more, more horror movies than usual leading up to the release of Halloween Ends. I think, is it Halloween Ends?
Yeah. Well, they say they're gonna end, but you know what they're like.
Exactly. So listen, folks, we're on episode 209. Devala here again. We are
Yep.
bringing you a great show. So we've got movie news, we've got streaming, trailers, reviews, and all the other stuff in between. But before any of all that stuff, Deval, take it away.
hmm Yeah, so we've got one shout out this week, and that shout out goes to Ciel Noir 3. You're probably thinking, oh, you mention her name like nearly every other week, but you know what? Some people are worth mentioning all the time
Exactly.
because they give us support, they interact with us, and she's also a really positive person, like we always say. Go check out her page, Ciel Noir 3 on Instagram. Really positive, well-being, making sure that you are doing all the right things to make yourself a better person. Check her out, and she loves movies too. So,
Yeah.
so what are you watching? What are you watching? Let us know what you're watching,
Yeah.
and maybe we can get you on the show one day as well. Ciel Noir 3.
That would
That
be
would be great.
amazing. That would be great because
hmm
look, we always get we always would love to get kind of people that interact with us, speak with us, chat with us,
Yeah,
and find out what kind of movies they like watching and stuff. So if you're up for it, get in touch with us, please.
yep,
Anyone actually out there who's listening, if you want to be on the show, please do. Um, so Devout, on
yep,
this week's episode of movie news, well, we've got
yes.
some big nuggets actually for anyone who hasn't been paying attention.
Mm,
So, I mean, I know you're a bit iffy about this news. I know it. And I think a lot of people are iffy about this news. But listen, here,
yeah.
check this out. Hear us first. So, Deadpool 3 is in development. Um, have they started filming, Deval?
No, not yet. Not yet. No, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
They want to get things right. So they want to make sure the script is right. They want to make sure the casting's right. They want to make sure all the
hmm
director and everything, all of that sort of stuff is all correct. And recently, Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds, he posted something out on Instagram, on Twitter or something, and it was kind of like a reveal. So Deval, I want you to reveal the reveal.
Yeah, so this was a random random YouTube. It was a random video put on YouTube. Ryan
Mm.
Reynolds was there. Was he in his Deadpool costume? I can't remember if he was.
I can't remember now. Yeah.
Either way, he was there talking about Deadpool, saying that he's got a bit of a brain freeze, doesn't know what to do with Deadpool,
Mm.
and he needs a bit of help. Just while he's saying that, in the background, you have Hugh Jackman walking past, eating an
Oh my.
apple, and that is the reveal that yes, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, is going to come back in Deadpool 3. And
Yeah.
then you get another video where they're sitting down together, just messing around, saying, what Deadpool 3 is going to consist of and how they're going to reintroduce Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And at that
Mm.
point, as they're actually explaining it, we get music just overlap the dialogue, so we can't hear what they're saying, but we can just see them talking about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? People
I
love
know.
Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I do too. My
Mm.
only question is how. I mean, and I think you mentioned something about how this could happen. I don't know if you want to break it down.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is because obviously the multiverse has opened up, and Doctor
Yeah.
Strange, that's all been kickstarted with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange Part 2. So the only thing that I can think of is maybe somehow
Mm,
Deadpool gets sucked into the multiverse, and then in that
yeah,
multiverse, there's that version. There is a version of Wolverine. So,
that's it.
but
That has to be the
but
way.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, it's like I remember we spoke about this back in 2017 when we saw Logan. We said that was the perfect way to say
Yeah,
goodbye to this
yeah.
character. Great movie. But why is Hugh coming back, man? It can't just be the money because this guy's got loads of money.
I reckon. Yeah, well, it's well, yes, it is the money, but also I
Mm.
think Ryan Reynolds has got into his head. Kevin Feige has. Maybe this is just a one picture deal. Maybe it's just a
Yeah,
one time, just for the fans kind of thing, you know. So I can't see it being something that he'll do again and again and again, because I
yeah.
do feel that they need to introduce a new Wolverine, and I hope this doesn't mess up the
Oh yeah.
introduction of that new Wolverine, you know, which could be Edgerton. What's his first name again? I
Uh,
forgot.
isn't
The
It's
one
not
from
Joey? It's from England. He's from England, right?
yeah, the one that was in the gentleman's club thingy. Uh,
Taron,
Taron Egerton, that's it. Yeah, so he was in
the
what's that
Kingsman.
movie? Kingsman. That's it. Oh, I got brain fog today. It's all the
Mate,
smiling I've been doing.
shit. I was just about to say smile. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Anyway, we'll get to
but
that.
yeah,
Save it.
so but yeah, let's see what happens. Either way, I think they should do a good job. But yeah, I'm in your sort of camp as well. I would have been happy
Mm,
not to see him come back, but it is what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I know. We'll just have to wait and see because I just hope they don't screw it up. That's the thing. But listen, here's the thing: we haven't had a Deadpool movie in quite a while. So,
Yeah, 2018, 4 years ago. Of
4 years ago, right? So, this is going to get bums on seats, isn't it? If there was one
course.
character who was going to get bums on seats, it was going to be this guy, Hugh Jackman, and
Yeah,
Deadpool. And remember, there's been that jokey thing that they've had for the last couple of years. Do you remember? They've
yeah,
had this
yeah,
little
yeah,
bromance going on,
yeah. So it's
this
coming out in
weird thing going on.
2024. That's when it's coming out. So we've still got another 2 years to wait for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another thing that we might be waiting for, Devaldo. Check this out. Blade,
Hmm.
the Blade director. I can't remember his name, but he decided to step away. Now, how many
Mm.
times have we heard about this? Remember when Scott Derrickson he stepped away from Doctor Strange? Remember when uh, who was the guy who was going to do Ant-Man?
Oh, he's the guy that done the car film,
Mm.
baby boy or baby
Yeah,
driver.
yeah, Baby Driver. You know what I'm talking about. So,
Yeah,
so kind of like the MCU, they've got this kind of history
Edgar
of.
Wright. Is that
I
it or
say
something?
Edgar Wright. So they've kind of got this history
Mm.
with kind of directors that they always call it creative differences. I don't know
Yeah,
if it is creative differences this time, but the director has said, "Okay, ciao, like
yeah.
hasta la vista, baby. I'm out of here." They're bringing someone else in new, and I'm not too sure about this one, Deval. But listen, before we get onto the Who, Mahershala Ali
Mm.
apparently is pissed off.
Mm. Is
He's
it?
annoyed. He's annoyed because
Ooh,
apparently there's
ooh.
only been the rumors are that there's only been two action sequences, and he was not happy with the action sequences that they've kind of come up with so far.
Is it?
I don't know, man. This could
Mm.
be. I hope this isn't one of those ones where they start having delays and it's like
Mm.
stuttering and spluttering and
Meant to be out next year,
before.
December, next year November, I think. Yeah,
Damn. But who do
2023
you
November.
reckon? But who do you reckon? Taking over wise, what do you reckon?
Well, little birdies that we have out there have come back and said that are
Yeah.
very, the person who stepped in for Scott Derrickson for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Sam Raimi is going to be picking up the helm and
Mm,
directing Blade. So I'm not very. I mean, yeah, it's going to be jokey, isn't it? I don't know, man. Yeah, he's a horror guy, so I do get he's got that relationship with blood and
yeah.
scares and stuff like that. But uh, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I know,
I
me
don't
too.
know.
I'm like kind
Mm,
of, but I don't know, but it just kind of, it is a film that I really, really want to see, but I'm happy for
mm,
them to get it right first before I see it. I don't want them just to kind of throw anything out.
mm,
Like, get it right, get the director right, get the kind of story right, because people
mm.
have been waiting years for this, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Years.
yeah.
So you got to do this thing right. So I thought that was kind of interesting to kind of hear about that. But the other bit of news that I want to speak about is this. Like on Netflix, they've got Cobra Kai, which is kind of like the
Mm,
the the Karate Kid continuation of the kind of Karate Kid story where Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence and blah blah blah.
mm.
They're all
Daniel's
feud.
son, isn't that his name?
That's it, Daniel San.
That's what I know, man. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So Daniel San and Johnny Lawrence, they've had this feud from like back in the
Mm,
day, from the 80s, and it's kind of carried on up until now. But they've kind of sorted out the differences, I think. But check this out: they're gonna Sony. they own the rights to the Karate Kid franchise, by the way. They're gonna actually be coming up with their own movie, which isn't gonna be related to the Cobra Kai stuff.
Mm,
So a lot of people are like, so is Daniel LaRusso going to be in it? Is Johnny Lawrence going to be in it? Is, like, what's happening? And I think the thing is they're going to go with someone new. So
mm.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're not a fan of Karate Kid, are you?
Back in the day, yeah, I did watch it, but I've not seen any Cobra Kai. But I've heard that it's really good.
It
I
is. It's
have heard it's really
interesting.
good. Yeah.
I haven't seen the latest season, which I'm gonna do
Okay.
because there's just so many things that I've got to watch. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. You know what? It's cheesy. It's just dumb fun that you can just put on
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
get entertained. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to this next one. So Squid Game 2, Devour.
Mm.
Now I watched it. I know you didn't watch it.
No, I watched it. Squid
Oh,
Game.
did you watch it? Oh,
Yeah.
did you
Yeah.
watch it
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
end? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, this took apparently, like, because I think Netflix, they don't kind of release the actual viewing figures, but I mean, they're saying that this was the most watched
Yeah.
show on streaming, on anything, basically, last year or whenever it was that it came out. And it only makes sense that they would do a part two,
Yeah. 100%.
because
8 out of 10 on
100%.
IMDb. Everyone watched it. There's been sort of experiences about Squid Game that you can actually go to in real life, and it's just kind of, yeah. There's always that kind of culture of, well, a show turns into culture. Obviously, Stranger
Yeah.
Things. You had Money Heist, that people really
Yes.
brought that to life, and then Squid Game brought it from the Far East, and it's really taken on board out here in the West and all over the world. So Squid Game Part Two is definitely a no-brainer, I think, for
Mm.
Netflix. Definitely.
And those three shows that you mentioned, they're all on Netflix.
Exactly. There you go. That's the people like streaming these days, and
Mm.
yeah, I think a season two will probably be, a lot of the same as season one. A bunch of people that have some sort of debt situation.
Yeah.
Going back onto the island, we saw from season one the guy had unfinished business. He was getting on a plane to maybe
Yeah.
go back or something, and yeah, so there's lots that can go on in season two. I think it could be just as good, hopefully better, but
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
settle for just as good.
Exactly. Yeah, trust me. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that one, folks. And if that is your thing, then
Mm.
yeah, watch out for that one. All right, let's do streaming. And listen, look, we've been doing this now for the last kind of like 7 weeks now. We've been speaking about She-Hulk.
Uh,
And mate, I'm like, that sigh says it all. That sigh says it
I missed an
all for
episode
me.
because, okay, I watched episode 7 the other day. Has Deadpool shown up in this yet?
Daredevil,
Yeah.
no, he hasn't.
Sorry, Deadpool, Daredevil. He hasn't. Okay, okay. I keep thinking
So
I've missed something. This show. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
there's only two more episodes left now, so I think he's got to pay, like,
Mm,
now in the last two
yeah,
episodes or whatever.
yeah,
But listen, so I mean, look, not a lot of stuff happens. She goes off and meets Blonsky again. There's some convoluted plot about why she has to go and see Blonsky. So she goes off
mm,
and does that. She spends the day with him and sorting through her issues. She was dating a guy. They got it on. They bumped uglies,
yeah,
and he wasn't returning her calls or texting back or anything
yeah.
like that. But there's a reason why that is, and we learn that by the end of the episode. But I mean, how are you going to sum this up, man? How are you summing it up?
It's yeah, it's not getting any better for me. I'm actually, I think next week probably not going to include it on the on the program. I don't know, man. It's just
Unless Daredevil turns up in it.
yeah, it's just not getting any better. It's comedy, but it's not really that funny, and
Mm,
I don't know, man. Yeah, this guy that you mentioned, he's part of some. I can't remember what the group is called, but he's a baddie basically. He's trying to get her blood, and
yeah.
that's going to probably lead on to Thunderbolts and other kinds of stuff, because in the Thunderbolts you're going to have General Ross, who is going to be a Red Hulk. So maybe this is how they get the blood for Red Hulk. So it's all going to link
Mm,
up. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling it that much. It's really kind of just there's no need for it to be She-Hulk. It can be any other comedy about a person, getting through her legal difficulties and relationship and all kinds of
yeah.
stuff in a man's world, kind of thing.
No,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
what it is.
No, seriously. Yeah, I know exactly, totally. So I'm not really connecting with it. unless they start giving, I don't know, there's some things in it that are okay. Like,
Mm.
you
It's
raise a
too
few
jokey.
eyebrows.
It's almost like
Yeah,
Taika Waititi's Love and Thunder. It's just too jokey. I mean, you just kind of like lose any kind of, any kind of not consequence, but there's no like stakes. The stakes are not high. It's just whatever
mm,
happens, happens. You know.
exactly. You know what
So
kind of did it for me was when she was grinding, when she was like doing her bum shuffle to mate with Megan the Stallion. I was
Mega
just
just
like, what?
yeah,
Yeah,
that
I was
was
just
it,
like, oh,
man.
come on, man.
Yeah,
Seriously, please. But anyway,
yeah,
so She-Hulk's out there. If you're getting more mileage out of it than us two, then please do let us know. Maybe we're seeing something
mm,
that that you're not. If we
mm,
are, then please do let us know. Comment and
mm,
let us know on Instagram, and we'll be more than happy to engage. All right, let's engage with this though, Deval. House of the
yeah,
Dragon. So the latest episode it dropped, and it's done a time jump. So now we are 10
yeah,
years. So now the kind of the actors that you saw in the previous episodes, they've gone now. We've time jumped 10 years, and
mm,
Allison and Rhaenyra, they kind of, the tension's there, man. The
yeah,
tension is there between those two. It's still there. She's had 3 kids.
mm. Yeah, they've all been, banging out the kids and things of
Trust me.
the dad, Viserys, is like he's got one arm now and he's
One,
just a mess.
I shouldn't laugh. But listen, I'm surprised he's still around. I mean, why haven't
Mm.
they just got rid of him now? Do we still need him in there?
Well, I guess he's the king, so no matter what
Hmm.
condition he is, as long as he is alive, he's the king.
Yeah. So there's
You
all
know.
this stuff kind of going on in the background, and like there's there's the question of the sons that Rhaenyra she
Mm.
has. the, the kind of the rumor is that those aren't the person
Mm.
that she married
Yeah,
in the previous episode, that those aren't her kids,
because
and
those kids
everyone
are
knows it.
like stone cold white, aren't they? They're like full white, and her husband is mixed race or something in it,
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
their kids come out like they look like Baratheons, like black hair,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
and then the guy who we saw them have a little glance that time she killed the boar a few episodes ago.
Oh, was that
That's
him?
him. I forgot. I can't remember which house he belongs to, but he's a bit of a sort of butch guy. He's kind of
Yeah.
he looks like a warrior. So they had a
Yeah.
glance a while ago, and I think, yeah, because when in this episode he says bye to them, and then the boy
Mm.
says, "Oh, is that my dad?" She said,
Is that my
"No,
dad?
yeah." So that's him. They all come out
That's the
looking like
dad.
him. They ain't got
Exactly.
blonde hair. Exactly, they ain't got blonde hair. So they're all his. It's just like how the Lannisters all had golden crowns. They all came out blonde
Yes.
because they
Yeah.
were all Lannister kids. They
Joffrey.
had no Baratheon blood in them. This is the
Yeah.
opposite.
It's kind of, it's like an open secret, like
Mm.
because he's like
Yeah,
he's gay and he's having his fun and everything, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
so there's all this stuff going on, and then you can see the one thing that I was interested about this character. He was having he was eating a meal with the
Mm.
queen. That guy is so creepy. He's like
Mm.
Littlefinger.
I'm
He's
on the
like another
walking
version
stick.
of,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was on
yeah,
with the
yeah,
walking stick.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He
he
is. He
basically
is.
orders his dad and brother's death.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good episode. There's lots. I mean,
Mm,
as we're gonna because we have to sort of be reacquainted now with these characters because they're older and they've gone through stuff that we haven't seen. So now we kind of have to catch up with what's gone on. I do miss the younger ones a bit because I got to know them a bit. But I
yeah,
think going forward, this season is going to really kick in now.
yeah. I know. How many
Yeah.
episodes have we got left?
There's 11. It's not 10. It's 11. This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
11. Right. Okay. So we still
We've
got
got we've
about
got
3 or
five
4
more.
left.
I think.
Oh, 5 more. Shit. Okay.
I think
So
so.
quite a
Yeah.
lot.
6, 5.
Um,
Yeah.
so listen, Lord of the Rings, let's get on to Rings of Power. I haven't watched the latest episode. And
Yep.
here's the
Me
thing
too.
that I forgot to mention. Here's the thing that I forgot to mention. The one thing that I find kind of like really not annoying, but maybe kind of like a bit kind of off-putting is
Mm,
the actor who plays Galadriel.
mm.
Her name is Morfydd Clark. We've seen her and
Yeah.
we watched a movie of like she always looks like as if she's constipated. Like every single time that I see, it's like
Oh,
go.
She was in
some
Saint
corner and
Maud, you
take a
know that the
shit.
horror
Saint
film
Maud, that was
Saint
it.
Maud, yeah.
Yeah, Saint Maud.
But
I'm like, go and take a
yeah.
shit or something. Like, she looks so constipated every single time, man.
Oh my
I'm like, oh
gosh.
my gosh.
I
But
reckon they've
listen,
told her to do that. They've said to her, "Be intense, keep your intensity." You know.
holy shit. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's all this stuff going on. They're preparing for battle, and like, they all the clans are joining, like,
Mm,
the land of men, the land of the elves, the land of the dwarves and everything. There's
yeah.
stuff going on in all these different lands, but by the end of it, they kind of join up together, right?
And also, the figures aren't doing so well. You know, people are not watching like they wanted them to watch. This isn't the show that everyone's running towards. You know, I think even the boys is getting more viewership at the moment. So all
Oh
that
man,
money,
yeah.
yeah, all that money, is,
Doesn't mean jack.
yeah, man, it doesn't. Even us, I mean, we would normally run to a show like this, but even us,
Yeah,
the guys that do this for a living, even if we're not even running to it, what does it say? We
mate.
would rather watch other stuff.
We ran to the showing of The Hobbit
Yeah.
from work
Oh
one
yeah.
day.
During that long lunch break.
I can't remember. What did we say? I don't even remember. What did we say after we watched it? Did we enjoy it? I can't even remember. We said it was,
I think we found it was okay, but it wasn't great. It
yeah,
was just like, yeah, it was just a bit, yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So listen, look, I mean, it, look, we got to kind of be, we've got to kind of celebrate the fact that they are bringing such a massive, big show to our TV screens, but then at the same
Mm,
time, the fact that they've spent $400 million on this is not translating into like, wow, a must-see
mm,
TV show for me anyway.
hmm
So if you are kind of like, really, really into the Lord of the Rings, maybe again you've got a different take. All right, let's do Andor. Now, Devout, I didn't
mm.
manage to watch all the episode. So I think I still got about 25 minutes left. But
Okay.
again, I'm really enjoying Andor, man. It's just got a
Yeah,
different vibe to it.
it
He's kind
has.
of like this cagey person, like, where he's gone through so
Yeah.
much shit as a kid, and like, we kind of see that stuff that he's been through in the past and everything, and the battles that he's maybe scarred from the battles that he
Mm,
had in the past.
mm.
But he's been offered an opportunity in this episode, in episode number 4 now, and we know where it's leading. If you've seen Rogue One, you know where this is
Mm.
going to lead, right?
Yeah, we all know, but it's all about finding out how,
How?
see if they get there. But yeah, you're right. I'm up to date actually. I've seen all 4 episodes so far,
Mm,
and so far this show is very decent. It takes its time. It's patient. We're finding out about characters, and it's just one thing I've noticed about the Star Wars universe. It's been going downhill for a while, but I think the shows that have really stood out have been the shows that haven't got Jedi's in them. I mean,
yeah,
people love a Jedi, but Mandalorian, all of them were great, and there were no Jedi's in it apart from the little Luke
Luke
Skywalker cameo.
Skywalker
And
thing. Yeah.
then this one is patient. There's lots. This is more political. This is more, this is more nuanced. I think when it comes to plot lines and characters and stuff. But there's no Jedi's in this. Doesn't need it.
Mm.
So this is looking decent. I'm liking it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm on board
Mm.
with this one. Like what I kind of mentioned before, they've already greenlit a second season, so we're definitely going to get
Yeah.
another season after this. So expect that next year, or maybe the year after that, or who knows. But
hmm
I'm really looking forward to kind of like how all the pieces fit in. And Dr. Selvig, I mean,
Mm.
this guy, he's like, he takes him on board, and he's kind of like showing him, like, look, this is what I want. I want you to join what I'm about to
Mm.
kind of, something important and everything. And I think, yeah, it's a great introduction to that whole thing. So listen,
Yeah.
go check it out. It's Andor. It's on Disney Plus, and we've still got how many episodes left on that one? About 3, 4, or whatever.
I think maybe a few more. I think it's 9 episodes, isn't it? I think. So I
Wow.
think we've got about 5 more. I think.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, now
Mm.
let's do this. Let's do trailers. So listen,
Mm.
we kind of spoke a bit about, you mentioned The Mandalorian. So Pedro Pascal, he is in The Last of Us, which is a TV adaptation of a game from Sony called The Last of Us. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. It's HBO Max. This is going to be.
Yes. Yeah. This one. This is going to be big. People
Mm.
that play the game, really, the game is
I love
massive,
the
massive,
game.
massive, massive game. So if this is done well, this could be a really good series, and it's going to be R rated, and it's going to be like The Walking Dead, but a bit
Yep.
more, I don't know, a bit more current maybe. And yeah, do you know what? I'm looking forward to this one.
Mm.
Just low key, and look at the two main actors in this. You know, you got uh, one of my favorites from Game of Thrones, Oberyn Martell
Martell.
from Dorne. You know, and then we've got we've got Lyanna Mormont. Like these are my favorite characters from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Lyanna Mormont is going to be his. I think she's his daughter or something. But
Yeah.
the Game of Thrones people are coming through, man. They're coming
I
through. So
know.
yeah,
I know. The only thing that's annoying is the fact that it's coming in 2023. I'm like, shit.
yeah. What, January or something? Yeah,
Mm.
it's sooner than you
Yeah.
think. It's only three months away.
True. True that.
Yeah,
True that. Absolutely true that
yeah.
as well. Yeah. So go check out the trailer. And yeah, let us know what you think. Now let's move
Mm.
on to this one. The Watcher Devout. Oh my god, I totally forgot about the Watcher. What's
The
going on,
Watcher.
man?
I don't mean Uatu as well, but
Hmm.
from Marvel. But this is The Watcher. This stars Naomi Watts, who we talked about last week in Goodnight Mommy, and
Yep.
Bobby Carnival is in this one. And this one is about a married couple who move into their dream home. Like it's a
Mm.
really nice home, but then the home is being threatened by letters, stalkers. Someone's watching them and really making them feel unsettled. Sometimes this person will break into the house and leave something. They just always know that someone's watching them. And this is a
Oh,
bit of
it's
a
horrible.
sort of horror kind of thriller series. It's a series actually coming on
Yeah.
Netflix on the 13th of October. But this one really is
Oh.
designed to make you feel unsettled. If you live alone, don't watch this. This will unsettle you a bit more. But from the looks of it, this I'm gonna watch it, I think.
Yeah.
Naomi Watts, big actress. You know, we've spoken about her a few times. The Ring, 20 years ago, she looks the same, acts the same, so
Mm.
you're going to get the same quality. So yeah, defo give this a watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Watcher.
And I mean, it's one of those. It's almost like those home invasion movies, right? They kind of
Yeah,
can be your worst nightmare.
yeah, exactly,
All
exactly.
right, so we've mentioned this before, but the full trailer's out there. This is Hellraiser,
Mm,
and this is coming out on
mm,
Hulu. So
mm.
that means Devaldo is coming out on
Disney
Disney.
Plus. Yep, looking
And
forward
do
to
we
it.
know? Yeah, do we know the date on this?
By the time we publish this, it may be out already. So the 7th of October.
Oh
So we'll
man,
be talking about this next week.
yeah, we got to because Halloween as well. So Pinhead,
Yep.
if you haven't, if you don't know about the kind of Hellraiser kind of mythology, go check it out. It's really interesting. There were some movies that were made back in the day. There's been a lot of
Mm,
kind of in the franchise, but I think this is going to be a reboot, remake, all of those things kind of put together,
mm. And
and it should be
a
good.
female Hellraiser this time.
Yes, female.
Same director that brought us The Night House, the same director that brought us The Ritual, which is a decent film.
There you go.
Southbound, another kind of indie horror film. VHS, reality horror film. This person understands horror. So yeah, I'm watching this one. I'm watching this. This should be
I just had to do my smile thing. It looks decent. Absolutely, it
should
looks
be
decent.
decent.
So this next one I want to speak about, even just the title, it just kind of like, I love the title. The title of this is called They Cloned Tyrone. So check it
Ah,
out. It's an upcoming American science fiction comedy mystery. And check this out.
uh,
It's produced by Jamie Foxx,
mhm,
starring John Boyega, Teyona Paris, Kiefer Sutherland,
mhm.
and Jamie Foxx. And it's coming out on Netflix in December. It's going to be close to kind of New Year's. Oh, that's it. Yeah. So it's scheduled to be released on December 30th by Netflix. So check it out. And here's the premise: a series of eerie events thrust an unlikely trio onto the trail of a nefarious government conspiracy in this pulpy mystery caper. So it's like comedy, it's got
Mm,
science fiction, it's got action in there as well. And like I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm loving the energy, I'm loving the vibe, and I'm like,
yeah,
man, it's on the watch list.
yeah. It's mad. It's just there's a scene in the lift where John Boyega, Tayana Paris, Jamie Foxx are in the lift, and I think one of them's a sex worker, one's a drug dealer, and the other one's some sort of other gangster.
Mm,
So it's stereotypical, black roles that America likes to have, but
yeah,
it's a very non-stereotypical storyline. So
yeah.
they are there to try and get people in the community to try and find out about this conspiracy of them
Mm.
cloning people, because people do believe in conspiracies like in real
Oh
life.
man, big time.
So this is a conspiracy come to life, but it's very, very quirky, very mad. This is going to be interesting. So yeah, I'm
Mm.
looking forward to it. This is coming out during the holidays, 30th of December.
37. And listen, do you remember? I just want to quickly ask you this. Do you remember when
Mm.
John Boyega, remember there was something happened in England? He went on I
Yeah,
don't know if he went on a march or he spoke out about something. Do you
yeah,
remember
no, Black
this?
Lives Matter. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was it. Do
yeah.
you think that ever affected his career after that?
Yes, he said
Because
it.
some
He's openly
people,
said it.
he said it right, yeah. So
Yeah,
so,
he's
so basically, he spoke out, and this was in London. Was it in London?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so he kind of a really heartfelt speech, and people were like, it was like a rally call, like for loads of people, to kind of like it was kind of like shedding a kind of like a spotlight on the kind of situation and everything.
Mm,
And then after that, you're right. He kind of said that this is going to basically get me. This isn't going to get me the roles.
yeah, yeah. So I think he's trying to say that, like, black filmmakers need to kind of do more
Mm,
and work together a lot more and try and push the projects through a lot more. So he's trying to support that movement a lot more. So you'll see
mm.
some of the films he's got coming out. The Woman King, which is coming out actually in a few days. So we were talking about that
Yes,
next week.
we'll be talking about it next week as well.
So
Yeah,
he's trying to sort of surround himself in those sorts of projects and push those storylines through. So yeah, we'll see a bit of a change with his
yeah,
his work.
yeah, man, really good. All right, let's do anniversary corner, and
Mm.
we got this from 15 years ago. Now, what do you think of when you see a mist?
Oh, I think, damn, the weather. It's getting a
However,
bit foggy out there. You know.
yeah, and you know what? England is known for mists. I mean, like seriously, like
Mm.
earlier morning, you'll see an early morning mist over the bloody, the rooftops of like houses over there. But this
Yeah.
mist, that was what I'm talking about, is something from the mind of Stephen King.
Yep. So
So
this
what does
one
that mean?
is. This is not going to be any ordinary mist, mate. This is from 2007, directed by Frank Darabont, who was instrumental in, like, Shawshank Redemption.
Yes,
I think
classic.
Writer, Walking Dead was involved in that for many years.
Hmm.
Green Mile, all sorts of films. But yeah, so this is directed by Frank Darabont, and this is when I first saw it, I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't realize what was going to happen. I didn't
Hmm.
realize how dangerous the mist was. But this is a small town where the government has been experimenting in some sort of interdimensional technology portals, and through I guess a mishap, the portals opened up, and with the mist that comes through the portal comes through all these different creatures from a different, parallel universe or wherever dimension, and it causes havoc on this town, and they can't deal with it. And it's a decent film. We'll give it a watch, but the ending is really, really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Something happens at the end that makes you think, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, and you know what? Apparently, the director changed the ending
Mm,
from the book. It's different in the book, so kind of I think what he was going
okay,
for something darker,
okay, okay, okay. Wow, and
and
that was dark enough. What happened was dark enough. Trust me.
yeah, and
So,
you're talking about Stephen King. Like this is the
mm,
work of Stephen King, and
mhm,
he wants to make it
mhm,
darker. So go check it
mm,
out. It's called The Mist. And if you enjoy the movie, let us know what you thought. All right, let's do film reviews now. We've been one ever since I saw this trailer, Deval. I was
mm,
like, shit. Like, I don't, this is the type of concept or an idea that you just like. It can either go one of two ways. It's either going to be,
mhm.
oh my god, this is so boring and it's so tacky, whatever, or it's going to be like, I'm shit scared of it. But it kind of had a it follows type of a vibe to it. Remember we spoke about it.
Definitely. Yes, 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 yes.
It's got kind of this vibe to it. So listen, the film that we're going to speak about is called Smile. And I've got to just say off the bat, I think it's harder and harder now, Deval, to make
Mhm.
decent horror movies.
Yes. Very hard. Very. It's not easy at all. So,
Because you know what? You and
mm,
I and millions of other people around the world, we've seen countless movies and they've just done exactly the same thing, and we're like, oh god, I've seen that before, and yeah, I know the beat over here is going to be, this is where they're going to do kind of like a jump scare and loud
mhm.
noise and blah 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 and everything like that. But I have to say I was pleasantly scared like when I was watching this movie, I was like, holy shit, I haven't jumped like this in such a long time, Deval.
Hmm.
And it's just really
Yep.
simple. The setup is doctor works in a medical she works in a hospital, but she works in kind of like the mental is it the mental emergency or the what was it, the
Yeah,
department
like
that she
psychiatric ward, I think.
psych ward.
Yeah.
That's it. So kind of like, emergency psych ward when kind of patients come in and there's kind of like a psych evaluation needed. So she
Mm,
jumps in. And at the beginning of the movie, there is a situation where a young woman, she comes in and she is hysterical. She's
mm,
like, she kind of clearly did something wrong. But very, very important, I thought was really crucial. Deval. She turns around and says to the doctor, she says, "I'm not crazy."
mm. Which everyone
Because
thinks she is, definitely.
every automatically people, that is the one thing that people think, oh, you know
Mm,
what, this person's crazy, this
mm,
person's lost their plot. So she's kind of really adamant that, look, I'm not crazy, I'm like a PhD student, but there is something that is
mm.
following me. And when you just say that out loud, there's something unseen that is following you, Deval. Oh my gosh, that just scares the shit out of me, man. The unseen.
Terrifying. And no one else can see it. Only you can. No one believes you. That's terrifying. How do you sleep? You don't. Mm-mm. 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 Crazy. And then
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it again. But yeah, go on, go on.
But yeah, no, the like the whole. I mean, just the title is so simple, smile, and it's so mad that the evil spirit is behind this smile. So once you see, basically, the way the evil spirit works is it works off trauma. So if you see someone who's possessed by the spirit kill themselves, if you see it, then you are then the spirit is then passed on to you, and it will torment you until it's got hold of you, and then you will kill yourself. But the spirit makes sure that you kill yourself in front of someone else, so the trauma can be passed on. Just like it follows has a
Just like,
similar
yeah.
premise. But the way this film is just under 2 hours, including credits.
Mm,
When I saw that, I thought, oh, a horror film, 2 hours. That's a bit long. Usually it's always an hour and a half. But then I realized it has to be that way because it's patient. The jump
mhm,
scares are not cheap. They're patient. The fear increases with time. They
mm.
marinate the fear, put all the sauces in, all the ingredients, slow cooked, and then they hit you with it. You taste it, you're like, you know what I mean? So that's why I
It's so
think this
true.
works.
It works. And you know what? You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. But you know what? The thing is, right? The idea of a smile being so
Mm,
sinister and so
hmm.
creepy and like so kind of evil and so unnerving. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So there's moments in the movie where they'll just be normal, they'll be talking normal,
Mm,
and then they'll just do this thing. They'll just go,
yeah.
and I'm doing this on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
video so people can like, and it's just so goddamn scary. And like honestly, man, I had a really good time watching the movie, and
Yeah.
I was
Really
scared.
good.
And there was a moment in the movie where there was just one scene where there was this one jump scare. Not only
Mm,
me, but lots of people in the cinema, they just
yeah.
basically screamed. And there's a
Yeah.
bit where she's on the computer and everything, and like, there's just this thing that just comes out of nowhere. And oh man, it made me flip and go, whoa.
Mm. This
The
film, you know what?
only
It's
go on.
directed by, I was gonna say directed by Parker Finn. Go on IMDb and you'll see Parker Finn has two credits to his name, two shorts, a 9 minute
Hmm.
and a 9 minute and a 10 minute film. The film that he has is Laura Hasn't Slept.
Oh gosh.
This is actually a remake. It's a remixed remake of that
Right.
short film. And take your mind back to the mid noughties or the early noughties, think of a great horror director or group who made a short film and then made a feature length film of that short film, who then for years and years they had sequels after sequels after sequels. Can you think of who that was? Of what film that was?
In the noughties.
Again, with a really simple title. 2003, 2004 is when the feature film came out. But the year
Scream.
previously, no,
No.
same. It begins with the same S,
Oh
and
man, you got me.
Saw. Saw.
Oh
They
shit!
made a 9 minute, James Wan and the other guy, Lee Winnell, I think. They made a 9 minute short film of
And then it led
Saw.
on to Saw
And
franchise.
exactly, this person, Parker Finn, his film was a short film, different title, but kind of same kind of premise. And now
Yeah.
he's got this. He wrote and directed this. And I think we're going to see a lot more of Parker
I was
Finn.
gonna say because we don't know how the curse happens. Like
They can
it's
do they can do sequels, they can do prequels.
prequel.
Because think that there were people that would have been dying for the 20. I think in the film they mentioned 20 deaths.
Yeah.
They can go at any point and go to prequel, and then the cop. We don't want to spoil it, but the cop, there's something that can happen with him going forward. You know, some of the marketing strategy for this,
It's
what they
gonna.
did.
Oh man.
Oh, what they did, yeah, they put certain people in random places, and they had them with a smile on their face, and people were walking around thinking, like, what is this person doing? They're promoting this film, simple, cheap, but effective.
Effective. Oh my
This
gosh.
film is a must see. It's a
Yeah,
must see.
I love it. And
I'm
you know
so good.
what?
I'm so glad they didn't do it on streaming because it was meant to be Paramount Plus exclusive. Go
Is
cinema,
it?
watch it.
You
So
got to
go
watch
ahead.
it in
You were
cinema.
saying,
And
yeah,
also, no, all I was going to say was Turk. He turns up in it, and even
yes.
just his reaction,
Oh, that
mate.
was Oscar winning, man. I felt his fear. This guy was
You
shitting
know what?
himself.
He's imprisoned. He's got like all this shit behind him, and he's like
Yeah,
he is just basically his
shitting
heart's going to come out of
himself.
his thing.
He performs. He's a
Um,
good actor, you know. Just that little 5 minute scene,
oh
he
man,
convinced me of like he does not want this anywhere near him. He's a
yeah,
good actor. That guy. He's good.
he's a good actor.
Turk.
Hey, look, listen, look, I I'm just trying to think of over the last kind of like 5 6 years I've watched some really good horror movies, but this one is kind of up there. And yeah, if you love your horror movies, definitely go check it
Mm,
out. And like what Deval said, there's going to be some sequels and prequels coming out of this one.
for
Yeah,
sure.
so for me, man, it's like eight and a
Mm.
half, nine.
Yeah, I put it at 8 as well.
Yeah,
I actually rated it on IMDb 8. I want to help bring up the rankings. If I like a good film, I'd always rate it on IMDb.
yeah,
Try
yeah.
and bring up the rankings. Also, if it's a shit film, I'm letting them know too.
Exactly. All right, so go check that movie out, and if you do
Yep.
see it, folks, let us know on Instagram and let us know what you think. All right, so Deval's going to review this next movie, which unfortunately I couldn't see, but Deval, take it away.
Yes, I'm going to do a quick review because we're kind of running out of time a little
Yeah,
bit. But this one here is called "Don't Worry, Darling," and this is the film that was directed by Olivia Wilde, who we've seen in many films in the past. Stars Florence Pugh, she's the gangstress actress. Harry Styles from One Direction's in it. He's literally an actor now. He
yeah,
literally is an
I
actor. Like
know.
literally, that's it. Chris Pine, Star Trek. Olivia Wilde stars in it as well. You got Kiki Lane from If Beale Street Could Talk. Gemma
Mm.
Chan from Humans, Eternals, and lots of others. Nick Kroll, the voice behind what's the animation that he's in? Big Mouth. The voice
Oh,
behind Big
right, that's
Mouth.
him. I know the
He's in
actor.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, so those are all the people that's in it, among others. But yeah, this is a really the film is set in like the 50s, I want to say. I think it's the 50s in America. And they all live in this like idyllic little town. It's very, very traditional, old school, traditional American values. All the men go to work, women stay at home, and they're the home keepers. The men go out there to work and come back and have dinner ready. And yeah, so it's very traditional. And Florence Pugh's in there with all the other mums and not mums, sorry, wives. And that's how it is. Florence Pugh's with Harry Styles, they're together. And yeah, it kind of goes like that, but you kind of know something's not right. This town is very artificial. It's like
mm.
it is an artificial town, yeah, because it's created by Chris Pine, who's
Right.
the CEO of this company who all the men work for, and they look at him like a god. He's like the man, you know. So he's made this town. He's said to everyone, "Stay in the town. There's boundaries. Don't go outside of these boundaries." That's
Mm-mm.
how it is. Yeah. So everyone follows the rules. They've got a nice
Like a
life. Everyone
cult.
follows the rules. Kind of seems that way, but yeah, it's just a really nice town, you know. But bit by bit, Florence Pugh starts to realize that something's not right. Like, why can't I go out on these boundaries? One day she sees a plane crash behind this hill and she wants to go and investigate. And the bus driver's like, no, I'm not going to let you off. You can't go there. She jumps off the bus and she runs there to help the people. And then she gets there, there's no plane crash. And she's like, what's going on? And then she
Mm.
finds other stuff that makes her think, what is going on in this town? So there's like a mystery to solve, and all the while, people around her are just acting like almost like they're hypnotized, like they're almost like what's that Jim Carrey show where he believes that
Oh,
he's
the
part of
Truman Show.
a show. Yeah, it's kind of got vibes like that a little bit, but bit by bit, she starts to unravel and see that there's more. There's more than meets the eye. And I ain't
Oh.
talking about Transformers, but yeah, Chris Pine's character, he's very what's the word I'm looking for? He's just slippery. He's
Yeah.
a great speaker. He's almost like a cult leader. The way he speaks to the people, they idolize him. And the Chris Pine's character, Olivia Wilde said was the inspiration was. Have you heard of Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson.
He's a
Yes.
yeah, the Dr. Jordan Peterson is a
Yeah.
I think he's a, I can't remember what he's actually. He's a professor, doctor,
Yeah. At university and
lecturer,
everything. It
very
speaks about kind
controversial
of very
character.
controversial. Yeah.
Yeah, very controversial. I've listened to lots of his videos, and
Mm.
like many people, I like bits, some bits I don't, but I
Mm.
would not say he's like that controversial. I wouldn't say to
Yeah.
ban him, but people are saying, what Olivia Wilde was saying, she based Chris Pine's character off his characteristics. But anyway, that's
Mad.
another conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's weird. Do you know what? The thing that I don't want to spoil, because I think you need to see it,
Yeah.
is how things really unravel, and then how you get to realize what is going on here. It's not
He's the
simple. I can
devil.
tell you. No, it's not as simple as that. I can tell you what it is, but it will spoil it. I had
Okay.
no
Now I
idea what
want
I
to
was
watch
getting
it.
into. But when it gets towards the end, you realize, or even do you realize? Because I saw what happened, but I honestly can't explain to you. I can't explain to you fully what I saw. As in, I
Shit. I
can't
love
explain to
them
you
ones.
fully how this adds up. I just don't
Mm.
get it. I don't fully get it. There's no post credits or nothing like that. But
But is it science fiction? Because some people said it was science
yes,
fiction.
there's science fiction in it. Yes, for what it is, the way it ends up is science fiction. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's mad.
Right.
It's mad. Uh,
Okay.
but it's very. It kind of just sucks you in. It makes you feel safe, and then
Mm,
it starts
mm.
to unrattle you,
Unravel.
unnerve
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
and the
there's been
title,
a
"Don't
lot.
Worry, Darling." It's a weird
Don't worry,
title,
darling.
but yeah, it kind of
You
fits.
know, behind the scenes, there's been a lot of shit going on. Apparently,
Yes,
Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles, there was some sort of, I don't know,
friction.
friction going on behind the scenes. And then she said that she wasn't going to do any press for the movie at Cannes Film
Mm,
Festival.
mm,
Um, and then, do you remember? I'm not sure if you remember this. Whilst she was talking about the movie, this happened like maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. Someone,
mm.
she was at some big kind of movie thing, and she was being interviewed. Someone actually came onto the stage and handed her an envelope. Did you read about
Yes,
this?
that was
And it
something
was
to
her
do with
divorce papers
yeah, that's right. Because
or
she,
custody of the kids or something.
yeah, because she was with the what's his
Ted
name,
Lasso.
Sudeikis, Ted Lasso guy,
Yeah.
and she left him for Harry Styles, isn't it?
That's it. So,
So
but
that's
then some people were saying, "Oh, it was all a publicity stunt." I mean, obviously
mm,
there's all this stuff that's going on behind the behind the scenes and everything. But
mm,
yeah, man. So a lot of the stuff that's interesting behind the scenes, it kind of is played on my mind as well. So you know
yeah,
what? From what you've just said, the review that you've just given, I do actually want to go watch it.
it's worth a watch. I can't fully understand or explain what I saw,
Mm,
which is a good thing and a bad thing, but it's still a thing, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah. Well, you know what?
you
We'll
know,
leave it. We'll leave it at that
mm,
because then,
yeah,
like because what?
we just have to leave it at that. There's nothing more I can say. I'm hiccuping now. See, I don't know what more to say. It is what it is. Worry or don't worry, but go and see it. Ah, these smiles. Definitely go and see Smiles. Smile, I can
Oh,
tell you straight up,
that's
you'll
movie.
enjoy
That's
that.
movie of the week for me. Movie of the
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
listen, what we got coming up on next week's episode? We've got Warrior King. We've
Oh,
got
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. We've got this movie called The Fall that I managed to fit in as well. So
Mm,
Devout, if you can
okay,
watch that one, fit that one in as well.
okay.
And yeah,
It's
and more
busy.
in
It's busy
streaming.
now.
Busy
The
week.
whole month is going to be busy. Yeah, definitely. And
Exactly.
Marilyn Monroe came out.
Oh,
on
Blonde.
Netflix. We got to talk about that. Blonde. I mean, there's a lot
There's
going
too much going
on.
on. All right, okay. Listen, look, that's enough from me. And
Yep.
Deval, see you on the next
Yep,
one.
definitely.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.